Sonic Frontiers, y'all. This game comes out on November 8th, 2022. That is one day before God of War Ragnarok. That's going to be a tough week for Sonic Frontiers. Now, this game has started with a lot of criticism early on in the 2022 and around March, where journalists got their hands on this game and they thought it was very buggy and the open world was too open. There was not enough to do. Now we have the release week and tons of new content has come out. New gameplay, new information, the skill tree, the HUD, Sonic speed, and upgradable areas. We've all had a bit of that to digest. And also now journalists have had more than 30 minutes to an hour to play. They've had now 6 hours to play the game. So we're going to dive into everything we know about Sonic Frontiers, which comes out tomorrow when you're watching this video on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, one day before God of War Ragnarok. Which one do you get? Honestly, I mean, I'm leaning toward God of War Ragnarok, but it sucks that these two great games are coming out the same week. Sonic Frontiers is developed by Sonic Team, and the platforms that it's coming out on is Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC. So everything except for Google Stadia. Too soon? Maybe too soon. This is the first open-world Sonic game, and it takes about 20 to 30 hours to beat the game. Completionists will take about 50 to 70 hours because there is a ton of stuff to collect. Now, earlier in March to May, people got their hands on this and they thought it was okay. There was a lot of bugs, pop-ins, and frame rates that were kind of changing here and there. And now that they've played it in October of 2022, months later, there are still a little bit of bugs and pop-ins that they're still seeing, but not as much as before. So that is good news. Now let's look at the HUD. On the bottom left, you have your leveling up, your upgrades. You have your strength, your defense, your speed, and the rings. And on the top left, you have your ring counter. As soon as you get as many rings as you can, obviously when you get hit, you lose those rings. You want to collect as many as you can. Now you also have the keys that you find, the hearts that you find, and you have a meter on the bottom right, which is your combo and speed meter. The essence of the game is you must collect the portal keys, which open up cyberspace levels, which once you beat those, you gain vault keys, which unlock the Chaos Emeralds. In each island, and I believe there's about 7 different islands, you will need to collect memory tokens. Your friends are trapped, Knuckles, Tails, are all trapped in these crystals, and you need to get those memory tokens to free them. This is why exploration is so important. You must collect all of those memory tokens to free your friends and to progress the story, and each island has its own unique storyline. Now, I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing this specifically for the story. I think it is for the gameplay and the exploration and the speed and joy of playing as Sonic. Now, each island has its own mega boss, but they all have their own mini bosses as well, and those mini bosses could get kind of repetitive over time because you are constantly fighting those same types on those islands. Now, those mini bosses seem to be much more spectacle than they are fun in terms of combos. You want to look for their weak point, and once you weaken them down, just kind of repeatedly hit them and hit them and hit them over and over again. So some people might find it repetitive, but it's definitely the more spectacle way of it. Now, when it comes to cyberspace levels, you have to beat the level under a certain time to get that special rating. You can beat the level with a certain number of coins, and you need to find all the red coins. So you're going to be replaying these a lot. Cyberspace levels are pretty short, and you're going to want to replay them over and over again to find the right path, the best speed to take. And the details and pathways are fun, so my pathway might be different from your pathway, which I think is really cool and really kind of shows the Sonic customization in a sense of which way do you go, which way is the fastest. You have a green hill zone, you have a chemical plant zone, sky temple, cyberspace highway, just to name a few. You'll be looking for keys, and you can easily stop your speed and combos with one miss of a button or mistiming your jump. And I think that's going to be a lot of frustration when it comes to playing this game because you'll be repeating areas quite often if you mistime a run or mistime a button push. And you're going to need to collect a lot of things. Keys, Chaos Emeralds, memory tokens. There's going to be a lot of collecting. Rings, not to mention. So with those collections, you need to perfect those runs on whether it's grinding or jumping or speeding through areas. Now, I can totally see myself playing this after a long day of work, just to relax in the Sonic world, speed my way through. The music is incredibly calming and incredibly soothing. It comes off as very relaxing, kind of like Journey, if you remember the Journey game on PlayStation, where you're just kind of moving around this desert, beautiful, artistic area, and that music is just keeping you there. Now, if they can replicate the movement and speed of Spider-Man, then sign me up. Now, obviously, Spider-Man is swinging through buildings and not running like Sonic, but if Sonic's speed, Sonic's jumps, Sonic's grinding can feel like Spider-Man's swinging, then hell yes, this is going to be incredible. And I think because you can level up your speed, you're just going to get faster and faster and faster over time. And with those upgrades, you're going to feel incredibly powerful and fast, and that's how you should feel as Sonic. Now, reading through a lot of news articles, a lot of journalists started at level 0, and within 3 hours of playtime, they got to level 10 out of 99 on their speed meter, and 1 felt slow, 10 felt pretty fast for them, so we can only imagine that 99 is going to feel way, way fast. Now, there's going to be tons of puzzles, and those puzzles are going to unlock areas in each island. There's tons of stuff to do. And practice is going to make perfect when you have to restart those runs or those puzzles again. Now, I'm excited to see how everyone levels up their Sonic, because there's so many different ways to level up. Which one do you choose? Now, if there's a way to level up all 99, heck yeah, I'm probably going to be doing that, because that's what I want to be, the all-powerful Sonic. And there are 4 different areas to level up, and we got to first look at the skill tree. Now, these skill trees are going to give you abilities to use while you're attacking. And to level up your skill tree, you want to collect enough skill pieces from enemies or breakable items around the island. This allows you to unlock new abilities. You have red seeds for power, blue seeds for defense that you got to collect. You have your standard moves, the homing attack, drop dash, and stomp at the beginning of the game. But as Sonic levels up, you'll have a combo meter that will start filling up, and once that combo meter is maxed out, you'll gain the ability called Phantom Rush. And when that's activated, your attack is boosted until that meter depletes. One ability you can unlock is the Sonic Boom ability, which is a long-range, high-speed kick that unleashes a shockwave, and there's tons of other abilities to unlock. Now, you can even beat the level without leveling up, they've said. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're one of those Elden Ring fans that want to see how far you can get without leveling up anybody, you can do that with Sonic. You just got to be perfect. You cannot mess up at all. Now, there's these big bosses called Guardians on each level, and you'll need multiple different types of upgrades to defeat them. You'll have to do puzzles to weaken them and open them up for combos and attacks. One is, you have to grind a certain rail in order to open them up for an attack. Now, Sonic also has the ability to parry, and that's going to be super helpful. You'll see a visual cue to parry the attack, much like Batman, Arkham Asylum, or God of War. When you hit that parry, you'll be able to do even more damage and combo even more. Now, when it comes to an open-world Sonic game, this is the first ever, and you can't fault the dev team for trying something new for Sonic. Open-world games are huge right now, and more games will continue to go in that direction. I can totally see Sonic fans enjoying this as another game in the Sonic universe. However, I don't know if it's going to be interesting enough or captivating enough for non-Sonic fans, especially when it's coming out right next to God of War. And to no fault of the game, most gamers would probably gravitate toward God of War due to its epicness and finalization of that story. So the same week that you're getting Sonic Frontiers, you're getting God of War Ragnarok. So you only really have one day to play Sonic Frontiers. You know, if you're a streamer, you're going to want to stream the newest, latest, and greatest before people are going to want to see God of War Ragnarok. So Sonic Frontiers is kind of at a place right now that its release, it's going to hurt it, which is sad because we all want games to succeed. Now, I'm curious, if you're watching right now, are you a Sonic fan, and is this something that's on your list, or are you reminiscing on the previous Sonic games, that came out on Sega, Dreamcast, PlayStation, those previous ones, or are you excited for an open-world Sonic game, the first ever? I think this is a great thing that we're getting. Now, look, when it comes to open world, there will be bugs. There will be pop-ins. That's granted. But I'm curious to see if they can replicate that love of speed and action if we can get that adrenaline going with Sonic, like if when I'm going fast, I feel like I'm going fast, and I can't see why this is not a great game for people to just pop on after a long day of work or wanting to just relax and just zoom around different worlds as Sonic. Let me know in the comments if you're getting the game, if you're excited for the Sonic Frontiers, and if you would rather have a different type of Sonic game. Maybe open world Sonic isn't what you're looking for. What ideas do you have for Sonic? What would be interesting for you to play as Sonic? It would be awesome to see them remake those old school Dreamcast Sonic games that I loved so much as a kid. That would be really cool to see. We know remakes are really big right now, so maybe those remakes are on the way. This is very much reminiscent of putting some Zelda DNA into it, or some like sports DNA into it, where you have to hit different tricks constantly, or hit that speed, hit that perfect grind on that rail to do that jump. You're really going to have to string some combos around, which could be really fun, or it could be super frustrating depending on how good the controls are. Now, I'm going to level up Sonic as much as I can, and I'm sure you will too, but speed is probably going to be the number one. Speed and strength, right? But we'll see. I'm excited to see a skill tree. I wish the skill tree was a little bit more robust and more to choose from, but again, it's the first Sonic open world RPG game, which is crazy to say. But I'm excited to see your Sonic character, and I can't wait to see more. Y'all, Twitch link in the bio below. We'll be playing God of War Ragnarok this week. We'll be playing more games. There's tons of hosts streaming music, Let's Chats, and games. Also, checking our Discord down below and checking our other videos. We did a God of War Everything We Know Ragnarok video. Check that out. We did a Dead Space or Callisto game. Which one should be on your list? And more. All that in our descriptions below. I'm Josh Saleh. This is AdoramaXP. We'll see you next time. Peace.